Love is knocking on your door and we're delivering. Welcome to the Lover List, where Reddit's most charming love stories come to life. Don't be a love snob. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to join the love party. Should I ask the grocery store man out? Hey everybody! Last week I, 26 female, decided to go to a different grocery store to get food and saw one of the most handsomest men I've ever seen in my life working at the store, stacking shelves. I think he is around my age. I have now decided to only go to that store, not only because of him, it just is a nicer shopping experience. I see him almost every time I go in and have been trying to work up the courage to say something to him. I would really like to know if he's single and if he'd be interested in going on a date or something with me. How should I go about this? Please give me tips and advice. Update. I, 26 female, asked the handsomest man at the grocery store if he was single and he said no. So I told him to take it as a compliment and have a good day, went and paid for my things and left. Thank you so much to everyone for your help. Edit. He said, well, that's never happened before, as I walked off. Man, what are some of these comments I'm seeing here? What the f? He works at a grocery store. Don't give him signs. He doesn't give a f. Period. Ask him out or he'll never find out. Again, he is working. He ain't gonna pick some signs from a stranger. You can change shops if you feel uneasy after getting rejected, but the worst that might happen is that it's gonna be awkward for 30 seconds and you'll both move on. Even if he wants to ask you out, as a customer, the employee is taking a huge career risk. Should he ask you out? You need to initiate this and make intentions clear. Then, the ball is in his court. This is the answer. He's working and it's not a nightclub, so he's not really trying to mingle. So put yourself out there. Ask. Give him your number. Write your number down and give it to him. Don't put them on the spot. What else would you write on the note? I thought you were gorgeous and wanted to get to know you. Literally, don't try to give him any signs or anything like that. That's just silly and might make things awkward. Like another commenter said, just write down your number on a piece of paper and hand it to him. If he's single and interested, he'll text you. And if not, well, you can say you tried instead of wondering for the rest of your life. Even if he's not single, giving him your phone number may make him interested. Ladies, shoot your shot. Please. Most of us men are clueless that you are into us. Yeah, I took my kids to GameStop last weekend. Upon leaving, I connected eyes with a beautiful woman in an SUV parked next to me. I proceeded to get my kids in the car and then I went around to get in myself. I noticed her car was in reverse because of the taillights. So I didn't back out first. She backed up about 2 feet and stopped and then was waving frantically at me. I rolled down my window and she started making weird conversation. She asked me if GameStop had any sales on game consoles. I thought to myself, why would she ask that when she could just go inside? I went with it though, just having conversation. Then she kept the conversation going and going. We had a 10-minute conversation through our car windows about video games and Pokemon, and she kept trying to continue the chat when I was trying to politely signal that I was leaving. It was a nice conversation, but it was literally a conversation about nothing. It wasn't until about 10 minutes down the road when I realized I missed an opportunity. LOL. Is this the aisle where I can find the cute single men? Maybe if you're feeling really bold, LOL. No, it has soda cans. Are you blind? This should be answer for people playing stupid games and being borderline harassers. I met my boyfriend while he was working in the store. I used to go in often and we were chatting every time, mostly about music. After building some rapport, I gave him a piece of paper with my number on it and he texted me after, and the rest is history. Yo. Male in his early 30s here who also stocks shelves at a grocery store. Don't just walk up and ask him out. Be friendly and talk a bit first. Don't stand there for 30 minutes, just like a minute or 2 each time. It's normal for customers to stop and talk to us, so this won't be anything new. Keep in mind that even if he picks up on hints, he cannot act as he's working. Eventually ask him out. Doing this lets him be somewhat prepared for the question, and don't ask when anyone else is around him either. If you ask while his supervisor is standing right there, he's going to have to give you a polite no. My brother was asked out while working at a grocery store. They've been married over 10 years now. I wonder if it was a guy asking this question if the response would be the same. It would not be. I am a woman and I work in a public place. I've been hit on and asked out at work and it's so uncomfortable because I still have to be polite. Hey, that's very flattering, but I'm not interested in dating right now. Good luck. You see, if a guy were to do this, it'd be labeled as creepy. But I think it's because a guy can go his whole life without being hit on while it happens to girls constantly. Shoot your shot, I say. I'd want a girl to hit on me. As a former grocery worker, go for it. This may just be me, but I kinda like the confidence boost of the ladies on Senior Citizen Day hitting on me. If it was someone closer to my age, and I was single, I would have been all over it. Ask him out for coffee after work to get to know him. No games, no signs and hints, no wordplay and other sorts of bullshit. Also, trying to use annoying pickup lines or doing tricks could easily be considered as harassment. Just ask him out. Quit trying to avoid the possibility of upfront rejection. Either ask him out or keep it pushing. Write your number down. Walk up to him, smile, tell him you'd love to go out with him sometime. That's it. Job done. Buy your chips, pay, leave. Well, typically it's much easier for a girl to ask a guy out than a guy ask a girl out. Since he works there, you can purposefully ask him something, even if you already know the answer. Like, where's do I get those beers? Oh hey, I see you working here every day. He replied XXX, then introduce yourself. Oh hey, his name. Going out with your girlfriend must be very costly, huh? Your girlfriend must be very lucky. Now you know if he has a GF or not. If he says no, I don't have a girlfriend, you can say, do you want one? Just straight up walk up to him and ask him for a date. Don't put people on a pedestal either. You have no reason to feel nervous around any man, whether he is the janitor or the CEO of a company. Guys love it when a girl is brave enough to make the first move. Guys who want a healthy, equal partnership want a girl who can think for herself and outside the box. You got this. Men are so simple and attention-starved that this would actually work. Her, hi. Quick question, are you single? Him, yes. Her, would you like to grab coffee sometime? Or, him, no. Her, your girlfriend is lucky because you're handsome. Have a nice day. The problem is most women don't have the courage to be that direct. The guy might think you're trolling him because this is rare. It might cause a 404 error in his brain. So as the woman, you have to follow up, text him, and all that. The dynamic is slightly different than what women are used to. Give him a chance to lead the texting interaction, but it may take some time for his brain to reboot after going through a 404 error. Men aren't used to women approaching, but it's highly flattering once we realize it's for real. I met my husband at a grocery store the same way you met this man. I started with a couple of friendly interactions that were grocery related, that way we could feel each other's vibe and knew we were nice and uppity people. Then I asked if he was single, and we've been together for 5.5 years. Go for it! I work as a grocery stocker, and to be fair, rarely do we focus our thoughts on putting products to shelves. When physically doing the same task every shift, our mind wanders elsewhere when alone. I always look forward to conversing with a customer to build a connection with, as well make time pass. Before approaching him, see what pace he is moving at when stocking. If he takes his time, then I assume he's open for a talk. If he's rushing, then he has a lot of tasks on his hands for the day. I did. We went on a few dates. Didn't work out in the long term, but we're still friends. ETA, we talked loads in person in the shop before I tried anything, so it wasn't a he's cute, I'm asking him out. It was he's cute followed by talking then asking. I don't see anything wrong with asking a woman or man out at work, as long as they aren't very busy in the moment, take up a lot of their time, and you're not stalking or creepy about it. It's normal, and everything shouldn't be relegated to online communication. It's absolutely ridiculous that people can't live in the real world and just talk to someone. The best part of this post is that you labeled it a success story. Some people wouldn't see it that way because it didn't end with a date, but it is absolutely a success. You had the confidence to ask, and you handled his response well and took it in stride. I had the same thing happen to me a couple of years ago. I asked a college where I worked with ADH the grocery store out before Valentine's by making an origami swan and writing on it, "Will you be my Valentine?" We both liked Breaking Bad, and the MC used that sometimes. She messaged me a couple days after that she already had someone. I felt great. I couldn't care less it was a no. I asked someone out, maybe not face to face, but I still asked. I felt like I could handle the whole world. Kudos for putting yourself out there and trying this. Also, I think a lot of men would love to get a compliment, like OP gave, or anything else for that matter, as most of us don't get that many, if any at all. So, on behalf of the man in question, thank you for giving a compliment. Edit, improved grammar and added a few other little things, for context etc. I think more of us would get compliments if more men would learn to read body language and not take every compliment as flirting. I've read comments on here where other men said that a girl made eye contact so they think she is flirting. A girl I used to date used to have this problem at work too. She was an outgoing and bubbly person and would compliment some men on their style or shirt. A lot of those men took it as flirting and would go back to where she worked to chat her up and wouldn't leave her alone to do her job. She said that it was men of all ages who did this sort of thing. I honestly have mixed feelings about this post and the comments. On one hand, I'm happy that OP had the courage to approach someone she liked, so good for her. On the other hand, I also know that if the genders were reversed, OP would be getting torn apart by now, getting responses like "don't shit where you eat," "don't be a creep," "women don't work to get hit on," "just leave women alone please," and so on. So it sucks that men can't really use the same strategy. Not to mention 98% guys on Reddit, including me, don't have anywhere near the level of looks for this to happen to them in the first place, so there's that. Imagine the responses this post would have had if the genders were swapped. Most women have no problem with a man politely approaching them, asking if they're single, and then politely walking away when we say no. We do have a problem with men being pushy, making sexual overtures, and refusing to accept no as an answer. I was thinking more along the lines of the work thing. A lot of people seem to draw a hard line at approaching at work at all. I think OP's story shows that sometimes it's okay though. Thank you for being an example for women everywhere. That was bold, classy, and the rejection was handled gracefully without dramatics. If women had been like this in my life, I think there would have been a lot more opportunities that I took advantage of. God bless you. You're not like the other girls. Ladies, take note. If a man compares you to other women and paints them negatively, this is subtle misogyny. It's not a compliment. It's a passive-aggressive insult against your gender. It's meant to flatter insecure women. Don't fall for it. Fair point. I definitely admit I have misogynistic views. I appreciate you pointing that out to me. More women should shoot their shot. You have a much higher probability of success than men. Most men aren't used to being approached by women and are at worst flattered and would rarely be mean or rude to the woman asking, as opposed to women who might be evil as hell instead of just politely saying no thank you. Well, I'm surprised when a woman turns me down politely instead of being rude. Even though he's not single, this was still a good story. Don't give up. Try again with another guy. A big thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Relationship Stories that'll leave you inspired. If these tales touched your heart, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode filled with stories that'll leave you in awe.